Hello ladies and gentlemen, this video was sponsored by PlayAsia, who sent me this review copy of this game we're about to talk about. If you want to support my channel or PlayAsia, consider using the affiliate link below to buy this game. Thank you. Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here checking out Toukiden 2. I actually really liked Toukiden. I put 50 something hours into it. I did finish the game. I didn't 100% complete it, but I did finish it, so getting to play Toukiden 2 thanks to PlayAsia's very nice generousness, that's a very bad sentence, is a very nice thing indeed, because I get to see what the game's like before it even comes out here. So we're just going to go and do that right now. I'm going to load straight into my save game. Strangely enough, and this is one of the weird changes they made to this game, there's no way to tell how long you've been playing for. Like, in Toukiden 1, there was a status screen that told you it, and it was on your save game file. In this game, it doesn't tell you at all. Not entirely sure why, but considering that I got this game early this afternoon, like at lunchtime, and it's about... oh, bloody hell, I can't even see the goddamn time. It's about 5 or 6 right now. I've been playing for about 5 hours, so I know that's not much to talk about a Toukiden game, which is your general hunting game, but at the same time, it's 5 hours, and I am familiar with Toukiden, so I roughly know what I'm doing. I like to think it's enough. As always, this is an idiot imports, so I've mainly been getting by on intuition and translating my Vita screen using the Google Translate app on my tablet. So I've mainly been doing okay for the most part. Some of the quests are actually kind of hard to figure out if you're not paying very close attention, but you know me, I don't pay that much attention, but thankfully I was able to figure most of the stuff out. So right now I'm on chapter 2, I'm pretty sure I'm close to the end of it. There's 7 chapters in all, so I figured if I don't do it now, I'll probably be waiting another 5 hours to do a video on this game when I've got the general idea already. So this is the town that you will be spending most of your time upgrading your stuff with. And we can just have a wander around. We'll start from the west end of town. This is the gate that leads out into the overworld, but we won't be going into the overworld until the end of this video. I'll mainly do a couple of pre-made missions here before I do that, just so that we can actually get some good, like, large monster fighting in. I'll try and make them all ones that haven't been seen in Kiwami before either to make things a little interesting. This guy over here actually has nothing to say. A lot of these guys have nothing to say. No, the encyclopedia is actually in your pause menu now. There's no smart Alex standing here that turns out to be one of the bad guys. Spoilers. Well, actually, he's not one of the bad guys, but it's a really long story. Over here, you've got the mission counter, and he'll give you missions. Strangely enough, the multiplayer also seems to be changed from the previous game. I haven't actually tried it, but this stone out here just immediately connects you to the multiplayer if you select it. Or, well, you can use it as a fast travel point as well. So as you can see, there's a bunch of things we can fast travel to here. Or you can use it to get online. But once you get online, it immediately goes to the multiplayer menu. There's no, like, selecting single player to go into those missions or anything like that. At least I don't think there is. It's a little odd, but we'll just leave that, I guess. Down here, if I can get around the things, is the onsen, which is a regular Toukiden feature, weirdly enough. I, for some reason, I've already seen that tutorial prompt, so to see it again is a little strange, but there you go. So we're just going to go hop in the onsen for the usual effect it gives us. Yes, that is my character. I saw the Chinatsu hair and I couldn't resist. Nobody else was here, but that doesn't matter. I still get a buff from it anyway, at least as far as I can remember. Loading times aren't fantastic, especially when you go and swap your weapon. It's like a 10-second wait. It's a little weird. But yeah, I got a boost. Some kind of boost. The main facilities around here are all familiar. You got your shopkeep, you got your blacksmith, and well, I'll go talk to them just to show you what they're like. So, we've got the shopkeep who you can buy stuff from. You can buy ingredients, you can sell stuff. Pretty obvious, really. And when he levels up, he gets more level and he gets more items and stuff like that. You know the drill. No Matama lady this time either. She does all your cooking for you, this lady. Does all your cooking for you, which also gives you benefits. And you can also get items like this for bonuses. And you can select your AI compatriots through, I don't know why you'd do that. But yeah, no No lady like that. I'll show you what's in the pause menu after I'm done with the city facilities. So blacksmith works about the same as it. Well, actually, he doesn't work the same as he always does. Notably, the weapons have lost their... I don't remember the name of the mechanic, but if you remember where in Toukiden Kiwami, the more you used a weapon, this bar would fill up on it, and once it filled up completely, you could get a free upgrade on it that would make it more powerful. Yeah, that's gone too. So I've got this scythe down here, which is, well, not amazingly strong. I mean, it's only 50 something stronger than the last one, but it's got some wind damage on and all that. You can upgrade weapons via your typical upgrade system. You can pick whatever upgrade you feel like you want to have, and then you can go and ascend the weapon into something else once it's at maximum level. And you can do all the same with your armor. Or at least I think you can. Yeah, this is the armor crafting. This is the armor ascending, I think. Yep, this is the armor ascending. Notably, you start out with really weak armor in this game, but as soon as you get your first armor set, your armor set, like, triples. So your armor protection, like, triples. So, it's very useful. Like, see down here, like, the chest piece on the default armor gives you 40, and then the best one gives you 100. So, yeah, that's almost triple. So, yeah, I would suggest getting your first armor set ASAP. I was actually kind of surprised. I was thinking they were going to make the game hard, but no, they weren't. At least not at this point. So here we got Shiren the Wanderer bot. I'm not even kidding. Unfortunately, they replaced the Tenko with him. A little strange, but yeah, you talk to this guy here, and you can send him out on missions, and he'll lose health as time goes on, and I think you have to just wait it out. Yep, and you just get tutorial prompts, and you can upgrade him and stuff like that. So, I guess it's a good enough excuse to replace him, but still a bit odd. This is your house, that's where you save, that's where you get your mail, this is where you watch your movies. Yep, as you can see, movies. And music player. But we won't go too deeply into that. Notably, just while my mind's on it, some of the music in this game's been wholeheartedly ripped from Toukiden. Like, even one of the battle themes was full-on ripped from Toukiden. It was a little bit strange. I was hoping for better music, but there you go. This is the weapons screen, as you might expect. The weapons and armor, you know, put new stuff on and like that. I'll take a different weapon along because the Chain of the Sickle was around in Toukiden and Toukiden Kiwami, so I'll take one of the new weapons along. I think the bow was one of the new weapons, so we'll give that a go. It's freaking huge. Look at the size of that thing. And you can also put on your different armors here, and now your Mitamas. Mitamas are actually a bit different in this one. The idea with the Mitamas is that you can't have 3 like you could before, right? But they are put in different places. So you can have 1 Mitama in your weapon, 1 Mitama in your armor, and 1 Mitama in your Dragon Claw. That's probably not the name of it, but I'm just going off what I think it is. And depending on where they are, they'll have different effects. So your main Mitama that's in your weapon will have the effect that it's always had. You can carry along 4 different abilities with it, and you can also carry along other upgraded abilities with it. The thing is, they don't level up like they used to, and they don't have, like, unique abilities that unlock down the chain of, like, level 10 or something like that. Or at least, then again, like in the previous game, they made it so that you had to get beyond a specific chapter before you could unlock the entire Mitama's potential. I mean, look at all the room here for extra abilities. So they may well upgrade and get more abilities as time goes on, right? But I'm just going to leave it as it is. This is actually the Mitama you start out with. I've been hanging on to him. He's quite useful if you do attack sort of stuff. If we come here to the armor setting, we can... Hi. If we come here to the armor setting, you can select a armor-related Mitama. And the armor-related Mitamas have special effects of their own that are activated at random times. So there was one that, the one that I was on before, the idea was, I think if I sucked up an enemy, you know how you purify the things by holding the R button and picking them up, it would give me a temporary boost to my defense for a little bit, but that was actually kind of a useless ability. And I tried translating some of these other ones, but oh man, it's a bit hard. It's a bit hard to know exactly what you're supposed to do in order to keep some of these, but you know what, whatever, I'll just pick... Oh. I'm not even going to claim to know what happened there. But yeah, yeah, they have weird effects like that. And there's also a third effect conveyed by your third Matama. And this one here, I actually know what he does, which is when you trigger this ability just by selecting it, you can trigger it anytime you want. It'll take off some of your defense, but give you extra attack for a little bit, which is quite useful. So yeah, they changed the way the Matamas work, and honestly, I'm not that big of a fan of it either. I mean, this might be just nostalgia talking, because I quite liked the ability to have 3 different Matamas that had like 30-something abilities on them, and just, well, 3 abilities, 3 abilities for each Matama, but you could pick from a pool of 10 once you got them to max level. I actually quite liked that, so, I don't know, maybe it's just nostalgia talking, but I'm not sure I like this new system. Maybe it's just because I haven't played very much of the game, or I don't understand it outright because I'm not playing in English, but... Oh, and this is where you can come to check out your abilities and all that. Can I go now? Yep, see, here comes the loading time just to let me out back into the main world where I've got my bow. But yeah, that's the weapon stuff there. We'll just go through this real quick. Oddly enough, there's a pause function there. Don't know why that's there. If we come to the second option, it'll tell us both our main quest and our other quests. Our other quests are actually given to people out in the world, which is a little strange, but not too out of the ordinary for a game like this. And honestly, I don't know how to do most of these. I did translate some of them, but this one here is like find 3 guys hiding in the world. This one here is fight one of the spider bastards. Yes, they're back. At night outside of the base. That's a bit of a hard one. I'm not entirely sure how I'm supposed to do that. And this one is kill 2 specific types of monsters and, the drill. It's a lot like the old request system in Toukiden and Toukiden Kiwami, but they're just, sitting around waiting for you to do stuff. Status screen, Matama screen, gestures and preset voice lines. Yep. Here's the encyclopedia. So you can come here and just see all of this stuff here that, does stuff and junk. And I expected this to be the status screen, but it's not. I don't know what this is. Oh, no, I know what this is. This is the friend card sort of thing they had in Kiwami and Toukiden 1. But yeah, as you can see, at least as far as I can tell, there's no way to tell how long you've been playing for. There's a manual, it's pretty obvious. And this is the optional screen. I had to come to this eventually. This is, these 4 here are turn off rear touchpad segments. You can use the rear touchpad as a controller, but obviously I've got that all turned off. Mostly camera settings here. I don't remember what these do, but I've just left them as default. I don't think I've been alright. And sound sliders. And this is, infrastructure stuff, I think. Nothing too out of the ordinary. We can also come and have a look at the map. The map, for the most part, is, you got to go and fill out the map yourself. But a lot of the doors are closed at the very beginning. You got to wait for the opportunity to go and open some. And this whole area here that I'm circling with the yellow cross, it's a Mitama-heavy area. So I can't actually be inside it for too long. Otherwise, I will instantly die. I mean, they give you a fair amount of time. But the very first time I went into this area, all of a sudden, I had 0 stamina. The meter started flashing red, went up in about 30 seconds, and I just died, and I lost like 20 minutes of progress. So, that was surprisingly annoying. Let's actually go do a mission now. We've got 3 alright things here, so we'll just go do a mission. I'll pick something that we haven't seen yet. This guy here, I think, is alright. We got another Shyren up here, I don't know why. We'll pick the sword on the board, the new fancy flail, and just a regular sword. Why not? I'm the bow, so I'm going to want to have to stay back as much as possible. Now, this is going to come as a little bit of a surprise. That gigantic open world out there that you'd love to go out and explore? Nope. Yeah, I know. It's a bit odd, but for some reason, most of the side missions in this game, the actual, story-related missions, have you go out into the field. But most of the story-related missions, side missions, sorry, just have you in a set area fighting things. And there's a big red barrier around the outside of the level, and if you try and exit it, well, you won't be able to. You'll just run into a wall, and then get your ass stung by a gigantic thing. Anyway, here's one of the new monsters. I don't know what its name is, but it's a bastard, so let's just stand back and shoot it. We are the boat mistress, so... Oh, hey, I got a health boost. I wonder what did that. But yeah, I am the bow mistress, so I can fire lots of bows. I can fire a bow that's a area of effect. I can also fire a shot. That's a homing shot. A homing multiple shot. Also, yes, I know that my lady's voice is really, really high. I was fiddling around with the character creator and it was just like, you know... I understand. I just had to make it as silly as possible. Look at all those arrows. You can see the Mitamas actually have like a little prompt there to show you how much they're leveling up. Let me show you the new major feature of this game, which is the Dragon Fist, or Dragon Claw, whatever the game wants to call it. But the idea is that the new Dragon Claw lets you get around the level, well, not so much get around the level faster, but hook on to the enemies and like do something clever, like slam their face into the ground like that, cause a bit of damage, and just keep them on the ground while you get the gigantic set of homing missiles set up and just fire away and hit him in 3 different places and do nothing at all because this is Toukiden. What do you expect? Fun times. But yeah, in case you don't know, Toukiden is a series about hunting monsters. So this is basically what you do. You have a lot of different AI. I mean, come on, you couldn't tell that already, but yeah, you hunt monsters, you get fat loot, you use that to upgrade your stuff, you do it over and over again. And it really hasn't changed very much from Toukiden Kiwami, I've got to say. Like, the new weapons are all interesting, just like they were in Kiwami and all that. Like, they do add flavor to the game, more or less. All the weapons from 1, I mean, I don't remember all the weapons from 1 having like this massive berserker attack you could do with the circle button, but there you go. There is also another thing that I need to use a Star Trek reference to do, and I can't do it while I'm standing still, so hopefully this guy won't die while I'm standing here. But the team attacks from Kiwami are back, as you can see in the top left corner of the screen. So is the weapon destruction attack, and that's all there. And that's how you activate your special ability on your third Matama. That was a little strange. That's how you activate the special ability on your third Matama. You just tap there while you're holding the R button. You do also have Mr. Sulu. Engage Warp 5. You can just run around all the freaking over the place. And I'm actually getting Matama poisoned while I'm here, so I better do this quick. You can see the Matama counter up in the top right. Also, you do have your AI commands, but the AI is... I'm not going to call them very reliable, but they can keep themselves alive. So it's like, I don't have much reason to complain. Just shoot arrows into its butt, because why not? Ow. So yeah, it is basically just Toukiden again. Like, I don't got a problem with more Toukiden. It's just... It really is just Toukiden. They didn't really do that much to increase the variety of the gameplay if you don't count, like, you know, having new monsters and stuff to fight as part of the gameplay, right? But there really isn't that much new here in terms of overall mechanics and stuff like that. Just stuff that'll help you outside the fight, sure, like the ability to turn into Speedy Gonzalez and just run everywhere. That is actually fairly useful for getting around the new gigantic overworld, which I will show you after this. I mean, the new overworld is one of the biggest parts of the game, so I will show you that very shortly, but just in the general fighting sense, there's not actually that much new about the new Toukiden. I was hoping for at least something slightly new, maybe just a little bit of a real shake-up on how some of the mechanics worked and all that, but no, everything's still here about the same way you expect it to be. You've got the... What do they call this? The Mind's Eye? It's all here, it all still works about as you'd expect. So yeah, if you're looking for more Toukiden, then, you know, you'll probably be in heaven with this game, because, you know, it's more Toukiden. New monsters, new weapons, new abilities, new 200 Matama to collect. All sorts of new stuff to dig your teeth into. And you know what? If you're looking just for, like, new Toukiden, that's fine by me. It really is. But that's basically all you're getting. And I'll explain why once I get to the bloody overworld. But, yeah, that is basically all you're getting in this case. I've seen like 3 or 4 new big monsters at this point, and it takes a while for them to get cool, I gotta say. Like, this guy only just came up for me in the story mode, but he is still pretty cool, just being able to take off into the sky and spin around with his tail and all that, and it's a bit silly, but it's nice. There's this new dragon thing that flies around. I mean, like, it's not the Kiwami dragon. At least as far as I remember, it's not the Kiwami dragon. It's a different type of dragon. Oh, I have my destroyer tag available. And I missed it. Oh, yeah, that's just me in general, isn't it? Alright, I'll go swap to a... Excuse me. I'll go swap to a new weapon, and I will go ahead and head out into the overworld and do some overworld stuff, but... That's the general thing about Toukiden. It's Toukiden 2, that is. It's about the same as regular Toukiden. More or less. Do you like that? You'll probably love this game, because there's just more Toukiden. Let's go out into the overworld and talk about how they used the new overworld stuff. Eventually. When the game decides it wants to play. It's not very good with the loading, I gotta say. Like, yeah, you're sitting waiting for a while, but Toukiden wasn't exactly... Toukiden and Toukiden Kiwami weren't exactly not guilty of this either, but... Yeah, alright. Back to the house to go change my equipment. Probably should have sent Shiren the Wonderbot out to grab some stuff, but oh well. Also, notably, there's no, what did they call it in the previous game? The Wisdom Tree. And I'm 100% positive I'm getting that reference wrong, because Wisdom Tree was an old video game publisher back on the NES, but yeah, there's no Wisdom Tree anymore. A little bit disappointing. My dog's going off, and there's nothing I can do about that. I'm so sorry. But yeah, there's, we'll go play with the sword and board now, because why not, right? Shut up, dog. Game load, game load, game load, game load, game load, game load. Thank you. Alright, we'll head out into the overworld now, and funnily enough, you don't actually get to keep your AI partners until you get out there. Like, they'll immediately disappear as soon as you go beyond the gate. See? So, yeah, my dog won't just shut up. For God's sake, what is wrong with that dog? But anyway, sometimes you will have friendly AI compatriots come out and join you, which is a little weird. Like, you can't like, get them out here manually while you're out here. You just have to stand here and wait for them. It's a very, Yukiko dress there. And there's a girl that actually looks like Yukiko, which is a bit odd. But anyway, we have AI compatriots, so let's go and have a bit of a look around before we go and do anything else, really. So, this is the Toukiden overworld, more or less. It's a big place that you can run around, and you can find stuff on the floor and kill things. So, I'm not actually that satisfied with the overworld, if you want me to be perfectly honest. Sorry, I keep forgetting I'm not on the chain and sickle anymore, but there you go. Also, yes, this thing basically is a lance. It's kind of great. If I hold circle, smack. I quite like it. Anyway, let's just get out of this. What was the button to get out of this shit again? There we go, it was triangle, right. So, we can go have a wander around. We can go ask this guy what he wants, but I'm not going to be able to read it, so there's no point in me trying to actually do it. Say hi to my dog, everybody. Did not mean to do that. Hello, sir. Yeah, but as you can see, he gives you a lot of quest text, and the objective is to kill 2 monsters that we won't be able to kill. Oh, wait, no, actually, is it collect 2 items? It's just, yeah, collect 2 items. So now I can talk to him. And I've earned a reward. So, that was easy. I actually completed something in a video. Who would have thought, right? Amazing. But yeah, as you can see, this is an area mainly just for wandering around and killing things. And sometimes you can get into fights with the really big monsters, but it only happens in some predetermined locations, more or less. I mean, in all the time that I've had to be out here in the overworld, I've seen no benefit to not just turning on the super sprint and just running. Absolutely no benefit to doing anything else. It just seems like a bit of a waste of time, in all honesty. So, it's just kind of disappointing, honestly. Also, notably, I keep getting lost. So, let me just check my map, because, right, I need to go down there, which means I need to get into that fortress, right? It's annoying, because that pits in a Matama zone, but not a Matama zone, God, what was it called? Miasma zone, that's it. It's in a miasma zone, so we have to be very quick through it. And that annoys me, because I hate having to hurry through shit in a video. But yeah. The overworld really doesn't seem to be there to do much, except to basically just have a bunch of sealed away levels. And a place for you to just wander around and do stuff in. And by wander around and do stuff in, I mean the sort of like collectathon nonsense that you might expect from a game like a Ubisoft game or something like that. I was hoping for something a little different from the overworld, but I guess not. So we can rush in here. And I'm just going to rush to this stone as quickly as possible because, as you can see, my Matama counter up in the top right is going up again. So if I stay in this area for too long, I will die. So, and if I die, I lose all the progress that I just made. The game's not very... Well, if you do a big mission or something like that, the game will autosave, but it won't autosave you doing like 20 minutes worth of exploring. So you got to be careful of that. But yeah, alright, let's go. Turn on the super sprint again. It's a shame because, I mean, it looks a little bit worse than Toukiden 1 and Kiwami, but it's still not that bad looking of a game. Oh yeah, I had to go out the other way, didn't I? Oh, I can show you how monster fights actually work in the overworld. So, when you come across one of the big monsters, it creates this circular dome around the outside. Now, in Toukiden 1, you would be in danger of monsters trying to get away from you if you weren't, like, staying on top of them, trying to keep them in place, or just, you know, keeping after them so that they don't get too far away before you end up, like, losing them or something like that. I was hoping with Toukiden 2's overworld that they would make the effort to... What's the word? That they would make the effort in order to... Ow. In order to, like, make the AI run around the overworld, you know, make you chase them for a bit, have a bit of fun with it. But no, you see that thin blue line on my compass radar thing there? That's the cage. Metaphorical, of course. But the monster will not move outside that cage. In story objectives, you won't be able to move outside it either. But if you just don't feel... If you're just not fucked, really... If you can't be bloody bothered to fight the monster, you can just wander right outside that barrier at your own volition. You have to walk up against it for a couple of seconds, but after that, it's anyone's game. So you can literally just wander up against it for a little bit, and then you'll just go, you know, do whatever else you want. There's no challenge to it. Like, even there was this one segment in the main area that I got well, I almost got the shit kicked out of me by a, got the shit kicked out of me by the giant spider boss because it came out of freaking nowhere. And yet I was basically just able to leave. That was basically it. Like, there was no challenge to it. The sun surprise wasn't really a surprise. It just happened. I mean, well, it wasn't really a challenge or anything. It just happened, and I couldn't care less, which is really unfortunate because I was really hoping for something more interesting, but it just doesn't happen. I really don't want to stick around and fight these things for too long, which is a little bit disappointing, but thankfully, if I just engage the super sprint again, if I work my way to the outside of the cage, away I go. No real danger, no real consequence, and I mean, to be fair, I can kind of understand why they let you just leave battles like that, because when you're wandering around in miasma-heavy areas, there's not much you can do, because you've always got that ticking clock up in the top right, but I'm still just a little bit disappointed. I would have really liked a couple of boss fights where you chase the monster around, more or less. You tell me that lady doesn't look like Yukiko from Persona 4. I mean, sure, there's some differences. It's obviously, like, she's obviously older, but come on. That's a lot like Yukiko. Huh. I was actually hoping for a little bit of voice acting there, but basically, imagine Toukiden 1's voice acting. Just with different people. And you've got Toukiden 2's. It's good voice acting, it's nice to listen to, it's alright. Nothing wrong with it, really. But then again, I haven't been able to read the text, so I haven't been able to listen to it much. So, it's like, because I usually just skip these messages. I'm like, why don't I do it now? You do also have decisions, but again, like Toukiden, it doesn't really affect what happens. So, something happened. I think I just got a new companion, but I could be wrong. It looks fairly similar. The squiggles on that message were the same as the squiggles on the other message, so... Okay, we just unlocked a new area, more or less. And this is a, miasma purification area. So if I walk outside here and let my miasma go up a bit, I think it stops it if I just walk in here again. But yeah, this is basically how you, do your exploring. You just bum rush between these areas and hope that you make it back to the place you're going in time. But yeah. And you can use the stone to walk back. So if you're in one of the areas where that doesn't cleanse your miasma, you can just head right on back. But there you go. Wrong thing. I wanted to press square to find where my next objective is. I don't have one at the moment. Alright. I'll go back. I'll get the final new weapon, if I can remember which one it bloody is. And I'll show that off in another monster fight. And we'll wrap this up. Oh, it's actually a fast travel stone, so no wonder it actually... There are some that you can do, like, in-betweens that don't clear your miasma out, but they're just like a good stopgap, which is, you know, fairly nice. But, again, the overworld just doesn't really have that much to it. I mean, it's basically just a quest dump. So considering that you can do most of the stuff required outside of it, and the area and the stuff that you can do inside the overworld is stuff you would just like run around at full speed trying to find. It's just not as interesting as it could be, and it isn't really used to its fullest potential. I'm a little bit disappointed, honestly. What's the other one is the weird flail thing, isn't it? Right. And I get bonuses and stuff. That's cool. I was about to say, can I actually, like, upgrade this? Oh, look, there is actually a thing for me to do now, but we won't be doing that. Nope, I can't upgrade this flail to anything else. That's a little unfortunate. My quest objective is up to the north, but I don't think I'll be bothering to do that. Let's go and talk to this guy. And I didn't mean to press X there. I'm just so... But yeah, as you can see, training missions and weapon training missions and stuff like that. It's all here. Very useful if you want to get used to the new weapons, but the old weapons work almost exactly the same as they used to. Who do we want to fight? Do we want to fight the fat bastard? Do we want to fight the dragon bastard? I think we'll fight the fat bastard, because the fat bastard is... He's new-ish, I guess. He reminds me a lot of the other fat, tall guy from Toukiden, but, whatever, we'll work with it. We'll take along the Shiren the Wonderbot as well. That's actually a different Shiren the Wonderbot, but... Oh, well. And we'll talk to this guy. You don't actually talk directly to Shiren the Wonderbot. You actually talk to his handler. Like, I'm not entirely sure what the point of that is. Off he goes. And that's actually real time. Like, I'm not entirely sure why. So... Alright. Out the gate to the final mission of this video. There's the Tenko. I miss the little Tenkos. Where are the Tenkos? I want to know where the Tenkos are. They probably come up later, but... I haven't seen a Tenko in the 5 hours I've been playing, and I'm a little bit disappointed in that. Those tails are adorable. It's the sort of thing you just want to let nestle in your lap and you just want to pet it. Pet it until its skin runs red raw. Okay, fat bastard. I haven't actually used much of this whip flail thing, so let's see how much I can actually get figured out. My voice actor sounds ridiculous. But anyway, just while I'm here, I might as well talk about the technical performance. The game runs mostly fine. We're talking like 80 to 90% fine. But there are a fair... Oh no, it isn't a new Fat Bastard. They just gave him a little bit of a makeover because I didn't recognize him that much. But yeah, Fat Bastard's back. Oh well. I should have known that this wouldn't be a new monster, but go me. No, you don't. But anyway, as I was saying before, the game's performance is 80 to 90% okay, but it does drop noticeably at times. And while the game remains controllable under the lower frames per second count, it really doesn't help the combat. I mean, I do like Toukiden's combat, don't get me wrong. I do think it feels nice and has some nice feel to it. I know I just said the same thing twice. But it does feel nice generally, but having... I'm putting all these... Oh, God. Run away. Putting all these things on him. Like, do I make them explode or something? Oh, I get it. They're anchors to pull yourself in on. That's interesting. Really should have tried out this weapon more thoroughly, but I can't resist a good chain and sickle. I must admit. Thankfully, there is the manual that you can go and look at, just like in Toukiden 1, that tells you all the weapons and stuff. So yeah, the technical performance isn't fantastic. It's a little bit disappointing, honestly, because I remember Toukiden Kiwami running really well, which was... It's a little bit surprising to not see this game run as well as it could, which is a little bit disappointing, honestly. And I will admit, that is basically how I feel about this entire game. Like, it's Toukiden, it's more Toukiden, it's got new monsters, new weapons, new Mitama, new things to do, and more Toukiden isn't exactly a problem for me. I do quite enjoy my Toukiden, but at the same time, I was hoping for a get out of the way. I was hoping for something a little bit more... I was hoping for a little bit more of a sequel, like an actual sequel. This feels like Toukiden Kiwami felt like Toukiden 1.1, and Toukiden 2 feels more like Toukiden 1.5. It doesn't really do that much to move the formula forward, at least in the first few hours that I've been playing it. There are a couple of other things I didn't show off in the village that I forgot to show off, like the resource conversion machine, which I know isn't its real name, but it's just something that you throw resources in to get more resources. It's it doesn't really have a purpose yet. They're still feeding tutorials to you, even like 4 or 5 hours into the game. It's a little bit annoying, honestly, especially considering how many cutscenes there are, but you know, it's an Omega Force game. What would an Omega Force game be without cutscenes, right? And it's fine as a game. Like, it's fine as a Toukiden content pack, or as a, just, you know, just as a Toukiden game in general, it's fine. It's fun, it's fluid. I'm gonna blow that up. Yep. Go me. It's fine as a game like that. I was just hoping for a little more, I guess. Maybe when the game comes out in English, because I find it very hard to believe that they won't localize this game. And when they do localize this game, I find it very hard to believe, again, that they won't localize it in English for Vita. So when this game comes out for Vita in the United States and Europe and whatever, I will... Ow, I rolled right into that. I'm an idiot. When this game comes out in English territories for Vita, I will happily have another look. I'll get more into it. I'll learn everything. I'll learn all the new weapons. I'll learn all of that, and I'll maybe I'll be able to change my feelings on it, possibly. But right now, it just feels like more Toukiden, more or less, with basically a bunch of removals that don't make that much sense, and a bunch of new stuff that doesn't really add that much to experience. Add to the experience, I should say. That's all you can really think when you see the giant monster with a mouth for a stomach, but there you go. Yeah, when it comes out here in English, I'll happily give it another look. I'll go a bit more in depth and I'll see just how much more of a, you know, how much more it really does have to it. But this is an idiot import, and this is my typical sort of first impression style stuff. And my first impressions of Toukiden 2 aren't exactly the most positive. And if you want to import it, to give it a try, and you don't have any Japanese knowledge, have the Google Translate app ready, because there will be a couple of things that you might get stuck on without doing a lot of fiddling around. So, yeah, I would recommend keeping that around. As for whether or not I would buy Toukiden 2 right now, I'd probably avoid it. I'll leave my usual affiliate link for Play Asia down the bottom, so if you want to support me and my channel while picking this game up, you can do that if you're absolutely desperate to play Toukiden 2 right now. But, yeah, just slightly disappointed. Slightly. That's pretty much it. This has been Blue Maxima, and I'll... Is there a goodbye gesture that I can do here? This is Blue Maxima, and I'll slap my own boobies with my closed fist next time.